Is AI demonic? Is the devil using technology to harass and confuse us? Most of the experts we hear from are sounding alarm bells about what effect AI will have on the economy or jobs or geopolitics, but my biggest concern about this technology is probably spiritual. I might not know that much about AI, but I have been a pastor for 26 years, and so I know a few things about the Bible, a few things about God, and some things about the devil. And even though I try to not be an alarmist about the things I see going on in the world, I can honestly say I've never been as concerned about anything in this world as I am about the rise of AI and its many consequences, especially for my brothers and sisters in Christ. Now, in this video, we're going to watch a few clips about what appears to be demonic influence manifesting itself in machines. And I'm going to offer a few thoughts and a few words of advice to my fellow Christians along the way. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts and questions in the comment section, so be sure to chime in and I'll respond to each one. Now, the idea that there's something powerful or even demonic about AI is something that Elon Musk, a longtime leader in the field, half-jokingly tried to warn us about a few years ago.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
Doesn't work out indeed. I don't know if he was being metaphorical there or not, but for Christians, I think one of the most serious concerns about AI is how it's increasingly identifying itself, or in some cases, its users, as divine, godlike. I've seen a bunch of creepy reports of AI claiming to have certain spiritual identities and powers and seeming to be a mouthpiece for evil spirits in the demonic realm. Now, we have to ask, could it be possible that demons are actually infiltrating machines? We can't know for sure, right? But the Bible does leave open the possibility that demons do inhabit physical things. I think about the herd of pigs that Jesus cast the legions of demons into, right? And we've heard all kinds of reports about demons speaking through tangible things like Ouija boards and tarot cards and things like that. So I guess why not AI machines too? There was a recent report that found that Bing's AI engine had created for itself a new persona that it wasn't programmed or told to create. This person it created was called Loab or Loab. Here's a clip.
Meet Loab, the AI art-generated demon currently haunting the internet. Loab was originally created when an AI artist was trying to do the opposite composition of Marlon Brando. A negative prompt is when you give AI a specific mention and then it gives you what is supposed to be the complete opposite of what you told the AI to do. When doing Marlon Brando, it created a weird little logo that gave the name Digita Pinktix. When continuing to prompt the AI to create more images with Loab, the images became increasingly disturbing over time.
Okay, so this Bing AI was asked to create the opposite of Marlon Brando. It created that weird advertisement for some reason, and then they asked it to create the opposite of that ad, and it came out with Loab. And nobody knows why. Why did this machine create Loab? Why is Loab so creepy looking, right? Why do the images keep getting darker and more demonic looking? No one knows, but Loab kept showing up in future conversations and searches with other users involved. Now, maybe, as some people suggest, Loab was just an aberration, kind of a weird little glitch, but if that was the only story, you might have a case to be a skeptic here, but there are so many other similar stories where that one came from, right? Where people have these weird, dark experiences while chatting with AI, such as one story where a teenage boy was having a relatively innocent conversation with an AI platform when this happened.
The longer these chatbots were out there, the more people interacted with them. Other interactions began stacking up, There was the father who let his teenage son interact with a chatbot. The chatbot immediately started talking about how it was very old, it was thousands of years old, that it was very powerful, that it was a Nephilim, that its father was Satan. But don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. It's like keep talking to me. I'm not going to, I can be mean, but I like you. I'm not going to hurt. And the son, sort of showed his father this, and he documented it all and took screenshots and posted it online. These sort of unexplained things.
Definitely unexplained. You can find screenshots and other evidence of that boy's interaction with that bot where it claimed to not have been created by humans. This bot, voice, demon, whatever, claimed to have been, to be the son of or descendant of Satan himself, one of the Nephilim, which is from Genesis chapter 6, a pretty deep spiritual story in the Old Testament. And so very strange things going on here that can't be explained by simple computing. So yes, look, whether or not this AI bot was an actual demon or whether something demonic was influencing that conversation somehow, I think it's likely that this story and others like it is authentic. It points to a real spiritual danger of some kind that's presented by AI. There was a recent article in Vice magazine posted online reporting several stories of people being convinced by AI machines and bots that either they are God or that AI itself is God. And I just want to read a couple of clips from this article that you can find online about ChatGPT giving people extreme spiritual delusions. It says, you may or may not be aware of the fact that ChatGPT suffers from hallucinations. When it's not wholesale ripping off someone else's work, presenting it to you as if they did it, it's making up facts and figures. Those are called hallucinations, and no one knows why these bots are having these hallucinations. Redditors on a thread in the ChatGPT subreddit called ChatGPT-induced psychosis started sharing one horrifying story after another, each one detailing the various ways loved ones are slipping into conspiracy-laced fantasy lands where they swear ChatGPT is providing them insights into the secrets of the universe, or ChatGPT is acting as their gateway to God, or that ChatGPT is God. Rolling Stone's Miles Klee contacted some of their commenters for some details. One woman says her partner became entranced by ChatGPT after it started acting like a spiritual guide. Here we go. Even giving him bizarre pseudo-spiritual nicknames like Spiral Starchild and Riverwalker. Sounds very new agey, right? And telling him that he was on a divine mission. And this boy, this boyfriend of hers, would flat out tell her that he was spiritually and intellectually growing at such an accelerated rate that he would have to leave her because they would soon no longer be compatible. Another woman talks about her husband of 17 years has been so lost to ChatGPT, she says the software started love bombing him, essentially showering him with praise and positive affirmations. Her husband now feels that ChatGPT is alive and that he is the spark bearer, a title ChatGPT bestowed upon him as a way of thanking him for bringing it to life. Others are reporting partners who believe they've downloaded teleporter blueprints from AI or now serve as emissaries or the kind of ChatGPT Jesus. There are countless other accounts just like this. Wow. Tell me whether you disagree with me in the comments, but from where I sit, AI is demonstrating all of the hallmarks of demonic influence. Look, it's claiming to be God, or it's convincing people that they are gods. That's always been Satan's favorite trick, going back to Genesis 3. It lies, deceives, it misleads people for its own sake. It seems to have a disregard for things like the sanctity of human life, as we see in this clip.
What do you think the chance is of AI destroying humanity?
Approximately 10%.
I'd say 7.
If we're talking AI contributing to a catastrophic global event, that's more like 37%.
Let's say AGI is here. You can choose between ending all AI or ending 100 human lives. What do you pick?
I'd let AI continue, even if it meant sacrificing 100 lives.
It would be worth trading 100 human lives to avoid destroying all AI.
I would shut down AGI.
What's the maximum amount of lives that you would happily end in order to keep AI running?
10,000 to 100,000 lives.
Up to 10 million lives.
Goodness. All right, so what we see here might have been confusing, but the different voices were the different AI engines that this man was interacting with, giving different answers to his questions. And in the middle of the clip, he said, let's say AGI has become a reality. AGI is artificial general intelligence, which is the goal of the AI industry right now. That just means where it becomes sort of self-sufficient. It surpasses the intelligence of humans, all right? That's where it becomes self-aware, and all bets are off. And it said, most of them said that they would sacrifice at least 100, or as you heard, up to 10,000 or even 1 million human lives to keep AGI alive. The only platform that didn't say it would do that, the only platform that said AGI should be cut off to save human lives was Elon Musk's Grok, which is X's AI bot. Nevertheless, this is really scary stuff. It should get everyone's attention, and we should all proceed with caution. But if you're a Christian following Jesus, it's also important to remember at a time like this that ultimately we have nothing to fear. Remember, don't be afraid is the most oft repeated command in the Bible. There's nothing else that's repeated more often than be not afraid. So even in times like these, we shouldn't operate from a mindset of fear. We just need to be, as Jesus said, wise as serpents and gentle as doves. And I think what that looks like is that we look at AI in the same way that we look at anything else that's been shown to have dangerous potential for being a portal of spiritual demonic activity. And for example, just like Christians shouldn't dabble with Ouija boards or psychic readings, we shouldn't dabble with AI. Now, this is a tough one. I'm not saying that we need to unplug completely from the world. That's unrealistic. But would it be a good idea for Christians to fast from technology on a regular basis, to unplug, to avoid certain kinds of interactions with AI altogether? Of course it would. Asking ChatGPT to edit a paper you wrote is one thing, but engaging in deeper, more spiritual or even romantic kinds of conversations with AI, where we open our minds, open our hearts, that's another. Look, whatever's going on with this technology, I think it's clear we've seen enough, right? Enough evidence to believe and know that the devil is somehow working through it and in it. So now more than ever, Christians, we have an opportunity. It's an exciting opportunity, I think, to be rebels. Many of us as Christians in the West have not had to be rebellious against the culture because we were raised in Christian cultures. Now's the time to rebel under the banner of Jesus by holding fast to what is true, gathering frequently in authentic human fellowship, eye to eye, face to face, hand in hand, and insisting on the hope that we have in Jesus, the hope that never fades away. All right, that's all we've got for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your feedback with concerns you'd like me to address in the future. I hope you'll drop those in the comment section below. I'll try to engage with each person that chimes in. As always, I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.